Okay, welcome everybody to the Montpelier Redevelopment Commission meeting on May 12th. I'd like to start us off with a quick prayer. Father God, we thank you again for our community. We thank you for providing for us, Lord. Thank you for a beautiful day. We pray for vision. Pray that you would help us to see opportunities and avoid problems. We pray for your guidance. Help us to govern according to your principles, Lord. It's in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, roll call.
Corey Roberts.
Here.
Gary Cagle.
Here.
Travis Sells. Here. Chad Yenser.
Here.
Mayor Neff.
Here.
Myself.
Okay, and in front of us is the agenda. Michaela Bailey would like to speak during the football field lease portion. But not yet. No, I'll call you. I know. All right. So, all right. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as shown?
I'll motion to approve the redevelopment commission meeting agenda for this evening.
Okay. Travis motioned.
I'll second.
Okay, Corey second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Also the minutes. A motion to approve the minutes as shown.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Gary motioned.
I'll second those.
Travis second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Vote. And, okay, got the payment of claims. You can kind of see what's being done around the community by the payment of claims. You've got our trees down Main Street. That's the first payment of, I think it was 21,000 was their total pay. 22. No,
I think it's under 20.
it's on, okay, yeah.
And the 6,000 was for the trees, a down payment, the rest is something else. It's not, that wasn't the trees. I don't know what it is.
Okay. Okay, all right, but, so, I'd like to thank my wife. She has put so much work into the Main Street trees, really trying to make sure we get the right trees, get them, and she's worked with a lot of different people and just spacing out all the trees and making sure they're beautiful. And I think they look great, and I think they're gonna be a blessing to our community, so, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's my name, just in case there's complaints.
Yeah, phone number, no. Yes, then, Sean Taylor putting poles up in the, that's in the Fireman's Park for our, security cameras. Rodney, Kilger, he cleaned up, a property on, 441 High Street, which was terrible. I mean, that was probably the worst property in town. Cleaned it up, did an excellent job. I was real happy with that. That's property standards. We're doing a lot with that right now. And that's actually seemed to be working. I'm real happy with so far how things have been going, and people seem to be cooperating. Or some people, a lot of people do. Or there's some people that aren't, but we're going to have to work with them. But so Rodney cleaned up that house, and it looks so much better. That amount will then go to their property taxes. So there'll be a lien on their property. So that's how we'll go this forward. If the city has to do something, we have to that's how we recoup our money, is we'll put a lien on their property as a result. We now have a running, walking trail around the baseball field, which is great. It's a real nice addition. And actually that also, I think that work also counts for the addition of our new Frisbee golf course, which we're going to be purchasing new holes and things like that. It's going to take a couple more months to get it all set up, but so that's kind of what we're doing here. And then Dave Keyser Consulting. No, sorry, that's Jim Higgins Consulting. Roof, the Cardinal School roofing. We were very fortunate that Judge gave us possession of the school building when he did, because we got it in early March. We were able to get in there and get the roof repaired, which had significant water leaks in that whole building. we saved a lot of damage by getting right on that before all the heavy rains we had in March and April. So I'm very thankful for that. It'll still need more work, but lawsuit needs to be settled. Legal fees for the lawsuit and miscellaneous. So we have a motion to approve the claims as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims as presented.
Okay, Corey motioned.
I'll second.
Travis second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Second part is a legal, I'll just let you talk about this.
For the redevelopment, we take our TIF funds and use for redevelopment. That try to grow our city and everything else. So every year we have to account for our funds. And if we have excess, there is people waiting for access. Not saying it's right or wrong, that's how the law is. So Jim has went through, we filed a TIF financial report through Gateway and put in our, everything we do with TIF, what we've spent, what comes into TIF. And then every year, he will have a report for the redevelopment, which is your members to the Montpelier Redevelopment list I printed out for everyone. And then it tells you what kind of things we keep our money for, and some of the things that the commission may or may not do. And it lists everyone that the impact of the circuit breaker credits has been made to. And it's county, Cume Courthouse, Cume Bridge, Cume Jail, Cume Cap Development, Harrison Township, Montpelier Cume Cap Development, Blackford County Schools, Montpelier Library, and Blackford Solid Waste District. So we've got that issued, and he will issue those to every entity that is out there. Then we have a resolution, more or less stating that we have certain determinations related to the TIF revenues in the budget year. And we are stating that the Montpelier Development of redevelopment, that we have no excess revenues to share. Make sense? Jim has said it a lot better,
Yeah.
which he really does. So, it's,
Jim's our
Chad, if you
financial
want to jump in
consultant.
there, you can add more to it. You're familiar with this as much as I am, or probably even better than I am.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of recap how the structure of this works. You know, TIF districts are generated, are built and defined by local government entities to create opportunities to create revenue for a district like this, but the taxing that occurs within the TIF creates a bubble for other entities. So the reason I'm here, thanks to Mayor Neff, is in law, the schools are allowed to have one non-voting member on any redevelopment council. So that's why if somebody's new and I don't vote, I'm not legally allowed to, or anything like that. But schools always watch these, you know, because when cities or counties expand TIF districts, that reduces revenue, you know, to the school corporation. So, or reduces the taxing base is probably a better way to say it than revenue. So there's none of that collected within. But there's always opportunities, like if we were to develop a curricular program that, you know, helped with economic development, or I'll give you an example, Hartford City, when they ran water out to Gilman's, worked with the school through the TIF, you know, to run water on out to the high school. There's some things where there's school relationship, but that's why the school is present, and that's why we're listed. There's no tax revenue from this that goes, or
It's never
other taxing
really
entities.
money, is it? It's more like maybe, let me see, sections of the TIF area.
Well, any tax revenue that occurs inside that comes to the redevelopment commission,
Right.
and that's what funds, you know, the $1 million balance, you know, that you have here. but it's not like completely taken away. It's money that never,
It's-
as long as the TIF, it never went to the
Right.
school.
It's just, it's new,
Yeah.
new tax money that the city gets to claim for
Yeah.
a period of years.
Yeah.
But it's nothing, yeah, it's not taken away from the existing.
Yeah, but
tax,
some cities, as they're developing, are creating residential TIFs.
Right, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
to do
yeah.
housing projects,
Sure.
that run that TIF, and then
Yeah.
schools get a little prickly when that happens.
Oh, really?
because Property tax dollars.
Right.
You know, are what drives
Yeah.
two big funds for the school
Yeah.
operations, that
Mhm.
runs all of our bus drivers, all of our maintenance people, all of our
Uh,
overhead
yeah.
type folks, all of our utility bills, all those things, and then
Mhm.
capital projects, those are from local. So no, like, you know, no tax dollar money from inside the TIF does that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps or not,
So
but
it's-
you're right, there's a legal
There
reporting
is
requirement
So
no
we're-
residential TIFs in Montpelier.
in Blackford County.
Yeah.
So,
So we have a Main Street
yeah.
TIF,
Mhm.
and we have the industrial park TIF.
Yeah.
And there's two there. There's property and property and personal property in those two.
Yeah, each year the
Oh.
courthouse sends sends the district a report that should be the theoretical what if the TIF didn't exist, you know,
Right.
what would be the school's potential
Yeah,
revenue. So you take a look at that, but
Yeah.
there are things like if they're good for the community, that money, I'm gonna get behind every time, you know.
Yeah.
Good,
Right.
good streets, good sidewalks,
Right.
good parks, good, all that stuff's good for the community, and all that stuff eventually impacts enrollment,
Right.
you know,
Oh, right,
impacts
right.
your population.
Mhm.
You know, so, I don't know
Yeah.
if that's what you were looking
Yeah,
for more than.
yeah. That makes
No,
sense.
but it's not like we're robbing the school system.
Well, no, it's,
No,
it just, the money, it's new tax dollars from a new development that doesn't go into the general fund.
Yeah.
Like,
And-
the property taxes go into several different funds.
Yeah.
But the new tax, when it's a new industry or new something
Yeah.
like that, you know, we get that benefit for many years
And-
before it goes to the general.
And just to be clear, the law says that, you know, for schools, just because schools are typically one of the biggest taxing entities in the county, but TIFs also take it from cities, and like, it doesn't go to your city council because it
Yeah.
comes here.
Yeah.
It takes it from, or it doesn't, the revenue created doesn't go to your fire departments, doesn't go to your, you know, it's not just schools, it's every other taxing entity in the county except this body.
Yeah, yeah, so, okay, anyways, and so we have to notify everybody, this is why, this is, we have
If she's
this.
gonna invite me to talk, I'm gonna talk to her,
To me,
I
it
know.
always sounds like we're robbing the schools
Well,
of something.
so.
And
I've never said that.
no,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never
okay,
heard
all
it
right,
said,
all right,
it
all right,
just
good,
feels that
okay.
way.
Yeah.
It's not really
Yeah, all right.
taking away anything
Yeah.
No.
from the school system.
All right, all right, do we have a motion to approve this resolution as presented?
I'll make a motion
Okay,
to approve the
great.
resolution.
Gary motions,
I'll second.
Travis second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Got the TIF mini class.
Yeah.
No, we did.
We could give them a longer version.
I could go longer. believe me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's funny, that's funny. Okay, football field lease. This is something that started a couple months ago. I was approached by one of our city employees, just asked if Southern Wells could practice at our football field. I said, well, we're not using it, we mow it anyways, why not? So I just went ahead and said yes. Then it got published in the Bluffton newspaper as a result. Southern Wells getting a new football or a soccer field, a soccer program. Southern Wells has then notified me that we have to have a lease agreement to make this official. I know we've had some discussions, but I guess I'd like to, Michaela Bailey, who's the Southern Wells coach, would like to talk about that. If you want to talk about that, and then we'll open up to any other discussions. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, if you could. Yeah.
So this was kind of brand new this year. We've had been working on this, getting a soccer program at Southern Wells for a long time, and then it became official. And so we're like, okay, well we got it. We need practice space, and so we'd asked, and they were like, yeah, that's fine. We already mow it. You guys can use the area. And then when we started digging into the IHSA rules. It's anything that's not on the school grounds you have to lease. So we went there. I was just kind of looking. We ended up having about 35 high school students sign up to play soccer this year. So we're looking at about half of those being boys, half of those being girls, which is really big for our community because I think all those kids that we had reached weren't playing a fall sport already. So then we're incorporating those kids into sports that they weren't already playing, or not taking away from sports, but adding something that they truly want to play. That just gets them that active lifestyle as well as teaches them the adult life skills of, teamwork, cooperation, working with people you may not always get along with, things like that. I went ahead and looked into where we were at. There's about 10 Blackford families that had signed up to play soccer out there, that they wouldn't have to leave our Blackford community to practice. So that they would get to stay in the Blackford community to stay in
You're
practice.
talking about Montpelier people?
Yep.
As Montpelier
Yep.
people, okay, all right.
So they'd get to stay in that community and to practice. They wouldn't have to go out to Southern Wells,
Yeah.
which is kind of nice in that sense. The main reason why we were asking for practice space is because our practice space at Southern Wells, they stripped the topsoil I don't know how long ago, but a decent amount of time ago. And so when we looked at the ground, it wasn't going to be very suitable for what we needed, and we don't have enough space really. So when we had asked, I think the end goal is to eventually get a practice space at Southern Wells. It's just going to take a year or two to get that land suitable for us to practice on. But this is kind of just the last step of giving us a practice space to practice with. That's all.
Okay, and see, you're obviously a Montpelier resident.
Yep.
And see, one is Abby Michael, who's a Montpelier resident.
Yep.
Well, she's outside the city limits, but
Yeah.
is one of the main organizers as well,
Mm-hmm.
okay, anyway, so I just want to thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that. Was there
No
any
problem.
questions for her, for Michaela? I guess
No.
I'd entertain other comments now. Any other comments? I thought we'd have a lot of discussion on this one. Yeah, we've already had a lot of discussion.
So will they be playing the games out there, or just using
No.
it for practice?
Just practice, yeah. Yeah, because basically you guys are just a traveling program for a while, right? Is that until you get it?
We're gonna be having our games on the football field out there
Okay.
at Southern Wells, but literally we just needed a practice space.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. It's a tough situation, honestly, because of our proximity to Southern Wells. Obviously, we're 3 miles from Southern Wells, and we are a very divided community. So we have a lot of kids that go to Blackford, a lot of kids that go to Southern Wells. That's just where we're at.
I think we have to look at it from a community standpoint, because in the end, we're both public school systems and we need to fit the needs of the kids. I mean, that's what our end goal is, so I think if we look at it that way, I think that helps clear the air. And I also, that's just my thought process on it.
Is you guys gonna be practicing like 5 days a week, 6 days a week? I know you're gonna have games in there too, but.
My practice as of now, so the summer it'll be about 3 days a week, just summer open field stuff, so we may not have a lot of kids all the time at those summer things, but when season starts, it'll probably be 2 or 3 times a week, and then you have games in there, but we won't have our games there, so. And it may be a situation where we may not practice out here every day. I know, because sometimes we talked about some of the teams trying to make home games for the other team, like the boys team trying to watch the girls team, so we may have to practice at Southern Wells. We have enough time to get the kids to those games and stuff.
What's the lease consist of?
Basically, it's just for liability purposes. I mean, basically says that Southern Wells are responsible for anything that happens on that property. That's all it says. While they're using it.
Is this something we gotta decide tonight?
Yeah, because they're gonna, because if we don't do it here, they're gonna have to find some other place to go.
I don't have an issue with it, I guess, that I'm thinking about it. I mean, maybe if they, I mean, like she said, there's, what, 10 families you said at least that are from Montpelier participating. It is still a local, I mean, maybe Blackford can come over and have a little intramural, scrimmage or something against them out there. I don't know.
Yeah,
The scoreboard's still
that
up
would-
out there?
I don't
We
think
wouldn't
so.
really need it if.
No, but
Yeah.
we're just
Yeah,
gonna.
right.
Let's
It probably
make it
could be
look
working
fun.
again, I mean, but,
Yeah.
yeah, that's, if it's just practice, that's
I
probably not
mean,
needed.
maybe if you guys practice on the football field part for like a week, and then over on this side, then we don't have to mow because they're trampling it down, save some money.
Yeah.
That was a joke.
Save
Yeah,
That was
that's
a
right,
joke.
no, that's, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, is that a motion then, or is that?
Are they paying for the
No,
field? So
no.
they're not gonna pay for the upkeep? The school ain't?
We
We're
mow it
gonna upkeep it
anyways.
anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we have to mow it anyways, otherwise, you've probably seen Facebook, if we don't mow that field, there's a few people who really roast us.
I mean,
So
we just wanted to grow it out and cut it for hay and
Yeah. Yeah. Roast me, I'll say.
I'm a mother of a goalie, so I'm in support of getting the kids out.
And ultimately, I think that's what it comes down to, is for the kids.
Yeah.
Not that my kid goes to Southern Wells, but I don't want to take something away from kids that's what they have. That's still not a motion. I'm waiting for one of these guys to do it.
Will this affect the Blackford Soccer League at all?
I just want to be clear, I've only had one conversation directly with Mayor Neff about this situation, and that's the only conversation or comment I ever plan to make about it.
Okay.
So,
I will say we're doing it at the high school level. So like Blackford's Youth League, we're not planning on taking from that. Like that's, they have a good thing going there. I've put some time in there and I think it's a great program. I think all kids should be playing at that youth league. So if that just kind of clears it up a little bit.
I will share just a little bit more because I don't want what I said to be misinterpreted negative. It's obviously a unique juxtaposition for me personally, with my decade-long investment at Southern Wells as principal and now my near decade-long investment at Blackford as superintendent of schools. I understand. It's a difficult position. Your direct question, Corey, I think the youth league is super well established over there. There is a place in Blackford County where Montpelier kids can play soccer in Blackford County. And we're happy for that opportunity. The school board made the decision to donate the facilities back to the city of Montpelier for whatever they deemed to be the best use of those facilities. So that was the intention with which the donation of the field was given. So if this is what your body believes is the best interest of the community, then that is what your voting body should do.
Did you make a motion?
I didn't. I was just trying to kind of goad him to say something.
You
So,
did.
I know.
You did.
Yeah.
Cause I see you sitting there and I'm just like, he's gotta say something, right?
Yeah,
And-
yeah,
And I knew you were in a difficult situation, because you did give that to the city.
yeah, and he's still,
And for me too, I'm thinking, well, we're not using it for anything
Yeah.
either. It's just sitting there.
That was the extent of the
Right,
conversation
right.
we had.
Yeah,
I mean, there was
yeah,
no
yeah,
more
that's-
than that.
yeah,
That,
yeah, yeah.
you know, the intention of the previous mayor in this body when accepting the donation was to utilize it for housing development.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we were told.
And we're still looking
I
at,
think that's still on the table.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's, so,
It
definitely.
wasn't anything worse than that.
Not
We'll be
Yep,
putting
yeah.
that in the
I'm not.
paper.
But then,
Okay, you two.
and again, it's already,
Yeah.
I mean, it's already high school level, so the kids are already enrolled in Southern Wells, so it wouldn't affect Blackford any.
We-
But
This is a community discussion, so
Yeah.
we're not saying anything here that's not been said outside these walls, because it's a community discussion, but, there's a point being made, it's Montpelier, and it's, the Blackford, Southern Wells thing, there's open borders now, you can go to school what you want, as long as you've got transportation, all that stuff. My opinion would be, I'm for helping the high school kids out to have practice, but I will never vote for a soccer league here over the one in Blackford. So that's my stance on it. So I would support the high school practice, but I won't support a league getting
I think
started
that's
here.
fair. I think that's fair.
Oh, yeah.
And
I-
that's- yeah.
I don't
I
think they ever
appreciate
plan to play here. I think that's just until they get their
Yep.
facility up and running.
But to help the high school out, I would vote for it. So
I feel the same.
is that a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, all right, Gary. Okay,
I'll
Gary
second.
motion, Corey seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all right. All right, thank you, and, all right.
Oh, we
That's-
love it.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, that's a, yeah, that's, yeah, yeah. Oh. Yeah. Well, let's move on. 123 South Main, contract signed, contractor's going. Said he'd be done by the end of August. So don't hold your breath on that one. I contacted Meridian and told them we're looking probably October 1st move-in date. It's exciting. That's great news. I already talked to Stanley about it, and they're already on board with Meridian, and so they're kind of excited about that. So I think it's going to be a great addition to our community. It's going to be a walk-in clinic, of course. It'll be something we don't have. It's, you got to wake up with a fever that day and need to go and get an antibiotic. I think you can just walk right in here. We got a local person who's already committed to staffing it. So I think it's going to be a great addition. Basketball court asphalt be done end of May, 1st June. We're going to remove the goals first, so you can just go right over those and then do the asphalt. Then we'll put new basketball goals on in there as well. Main Street trees, as we mentioned, they are all in now. So we've got Main Street trees, we've got a new tree at the Fireman's Park. So we're going to be getting our Tree City status back soon. Murals, as you can see, that they're also started. They should be done end of June. It's going to look great. I got pictures here if anybody wants to see them. Pamela Bliss is our artist. She does a great job. She was telling us all about the John Mellencamp mural down in Seymour and how much traffic that gets. It just tons of traffic. Anyways, she's an excellent artist. She's been all over the state. Hagios lawsuit, no new updates really. We had our first hearing. After the first hearing, judge immediately awarded the city possession so that we could take care of the school building. And it needed immediate repairs, so it's a good thing we got it. Hagios appealed that initial ruling, which now sends the whole thing to the Indiana Appeals Court. We're looking at an October appeal hearing. before we can come back to our lawsuit. So that's the status on that. Baldwin Park, we did get the $562,000 grant. Be a year from now before we can actually start on that project, though, with actually doing things. And we're in the process of putting cameras. We have cameras at the Baldwin. We're putting process of getting at the Fireman's Park football field redevelopment. Obviously, we're not doing anything right now. Pacer grants. We have a lot of applications. We've got 2 official Pacer grants turned in.
Good.
I bet we have, I don't know.
Fine.
I'd say 10 or 12. And that doesn't even count the people who's downloaded it, told me they've downloaded it. Not sure why we haven't got any more turned in, but people need to realize that there's really only 15 grants going to be available, and if they don't get theirs in time, they're going to lose out. So people need to start turning them in.
So we've had 2 turned in and accepted?
Yes,
Okay.
turned in, accepted. Did talk to G at Koffels Market. He is planning on doing that as well, so which I was kind of excited because he's going to do his parking lot.
Need some mows yard. That's a Board of Works thing.
I'll take note.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right. But anyway, so we're going to see some community good things happening as a result of that. Bike and pedestrian improvement plan. We're going to have our first hearing, actually, a meeting on Friday regarding the master plan for that. Once that plan gives us, once we get that done, it'll allow us to apply for grants to get a walkway in Montpelier. I think that's everything.
Mayor, I'm not a voting member, but if you got a run on those Pacer grants, I would think it would behoove the board to relook with the sizable cash balance you have and everything. If you got a run on them, I would consider the board to entertain, putting more money towards that. Because I think that's, to me, a super exciting thing that you've done, and this board has done, to try and improve the downtown, or the impacted areas. So,
Yeah.
I just think about it, if you got 10 of them at once, and
Yeah.
you had 2 more come in, I'd
Yeah.
find that, whatever it is, up to 10, or
Right.
what is it?
15,
Up to
15, but yeah, so, but yeah.
But I wouldn't delay somebody that,
Yeah.
that's my
Right.
2 cents.
Right, that's a good point. That's a good
Now, have
point.
they both been
They've been approved and they're on.
approved for the full 10, like
Yes.
10,000 match?
Correct,
Okay.
yeah. And I'm assuming most of them are gonna be 10,000, if all of them are gonna be 10,000. So we put 150,000 into it, which makes 15
Yeah.
grants.
Right.
And so, if anybody's out there listening, I'd say turn your grant in as soon as possible. They have to get 2 bids. I think that's kind of that's what slows them down. But yeah, it should be it'll be some big improvements when we're all done, so.
I think that's a great thing.
Yeah. Do you have anything else we can talk about? Yes.
We didn't talk about matching sidewalks, or is that,
Well,
or not?
yeah, we had talked about that, matching sidewalk fund. I am concerned about, I found out from after the state legislature approved SB1, our city, is budget's gonna be cut about $300,000. So, but the good news is, they always tell you this, and this is funny. They say, but the good news is they allow you to pass a tax, an income tax, so that you can make up for that. Yeah, thank you for that good news. I really appreciate that. So this next year, we're actually only going to lose, only $20,000, but 2 years, 2027, our budget's going to be $300,000 short as compared to this year. I'm a little concerned about that. I guess I thought maybe we should not do the sidewalks unless you guys want to. We can discuss that. If you guys have any thoughts on this? We have so many others. I mean, the school, we don't know how much money we're going to have to put into that once we get it. There's still a lot of big projects. I guess I'm just don't know.
Park's gonna be pretty big project.
450,000 from the city portion, because we have to match, we had 560 from
But
the
that's-
federal.
Now, if costs go up on stuff too, though, you're gonna have to pay more out of pocket. So,
Exactly.
I mean, and you're looking at it still another year down the road before you can even start on it.
Well, that's,
So we have
yeah.
to deserve some money
So
behind.
I guess I just thought that we should probably not do the sidewalks at this point, just because of some things
I'm
coming up.
with you.
Okay, so, all right. Any other thoughts on
Are
this?
you
or-
gonna use sidewalks as part of the Pacer grant then, since it's?
Yes, they can still do,
Yeah, okay.
yes, and that's, of course,
That's
it's just
what-
Maine and Huntington, but that's,
Sure.
they're doing that. So, yeah, and actually, that was part of High Street Bar. He said he was thinking about doing sidewalks, so, that was, that'd be good.
We're supposed to be paving streets at some point.
Yes, paving streets will start, actually, a week from today. That's what they said. May 19th, that'll be $1 million of new asphalt and some new sidewalks involved there as well. So,
Did we get an update from Mainstream about finalizing the install?
I asked them,
Yeah,
they've not given me a final, the last I heard, oh yeah, as a matter of fact, I did. Okay, here he is. He's not giving me a date. Last date he gave me was June 15th, he would have everything done. So this is the third date they've given us now. So they're
Are they gonna, because I've noticed there's a few properties that they went and dug or done some, are they gonna come back and correct those?
They're
Or
supposed to,
Was they
yes.
supposed to do that
Yes.
after they're done?
well, I don't know when, but that's their job, is to come back and fix whatever.
We need to hold them to that,
Yes,
because I see some
agreed.
stuff they've done
Okay.
that's, it's
Yeah.
kind of gaudy looking.
Right, right.
If that's not their plan, we need
Right.
to make it their plan,
Yeah.
because they tore the place up, they need
Right.
to fix it, so.
Right. Yeah, that's, so, but that'll be a huge improvement once we get that in. So it should be coming soon, so. Anything else I'm forgetting? Yeah.
When do the banners go up? The
I believe next week.
Next week.
Yeah, of course, always the goal to have them up before Memorial Day, that's 2 weeks from the day. So, I believe next week is when, they should start going up. So, yeah, that'll be
Did you get a pretty good,
yeah, I think we got 59 right now.
59?
So, yep,
Okay.
yep, so that'll be real nice. So, yeah. So, yeah, we got a lot going on. We got the Little League opened up on Saturday, which was great. Great opening day, a lot of fun. So, do you have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to
Okay,
adjourn this
Travis,
meeting.
motion, okay.
I'll second.
Okay, Corey second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.